Saint Bernard of Clairvaux was a 10th century monk and abbot, and also a great reformer in the church. In writing about Advent, he talked about there not only being one Advent, not just two Advents, but actually three Advents. I think the first two should be fairly obvious. The first Advent, and remember the word Advent means to come or to arrive. That first Advent is that of the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem that we celebrate on Christmas Day. The second Advent is that we look for Jesus to come again on the Day of Judgment in power and glory. But it's that third Advent, what Bernard thought of as the kind of the in-between Advent. And that is the daily Advent, the daily coming or welcoming of Christ into our daily lives. And it's this third Advent that is important because I think it helps us not to fall in the idea that all Advent is preparing for some historical reenactment of the birth of Jesus on Christmas, and also that we can fall in this idea that, Jesus is going to come back, but that's way out there, so we don't have to worry about it too much. It's that third Advent, that daily welcome of the incarnation that is so important. Because it's our ongoing transformation, it's our ongoing offering to us the gift of salvation in Jesus Christ in the present moment. Now, certainly that daily incarnation is taking place sacramentally, particularly in the Eucharist, when we're being given the gift of Jesus, body and blood, soul and divinity in the Eucharist, or adoring Him in the Blessed Sacrament. It's given to us also sacramentally in the Sacrament of Reconciliation, in which God's love and mercy is being poured out upon our sin for our forgiveness, for our healing, for our restoration to grace. And remember, Jesus is the face of the Father's mercy. So by going to confession at any time, but particularly during Advent, it is important for that ongoing conversion of our hearts and souls to the gospel. But we need to ask ourselves, whether maybe one of the questions that we're challenged with during Advent is, in what other ways is the incarnation taking place in our daily lives? Where else is the Word made flesh, Jesus Christ, being encountered for the purpose of our transformation, our salvation? What acts of prayer, sacrifice, compassion, mercy, forgiveness mark our days in our encounter with others? What acts of daily courage, of fortitude do we engage in to live authentically our faith and to share it with others? How is that taking place each day? Because over and over again, we hear in the Scriptures during Advent and also in the prayers of this season, to be awake, to be aware, to be ready to welcome Christ. We're to do so each day for our transformation and our salvation. That's why Advent should not be confined simply to the 4 Sundays that precede the 25th of December. Rather, it should be a permanent attitude for us as disciples, prepared to welcome Christ, especially in that third type of Advent of which St. Bernard writes. And that is a cause for us then to rejoice. Rejoice in the gift of the incarnation. Rejoice in the gift of God's great mercy and love for us. That it's only the third Sunday of Advent in the Church's liturgy. That's the Sunday that we light that pink candle, that rose candle, the Advent wreath. That's the Sunday in which the priest and deacons wear the pink or the rose-colored vestments as a sign to rejoice. This Gaudete Sunday, as it's called, which is the Latin word to rejoice. To rejoice not just because Christmas is near, but our salvation is near, offered to us daily, in a faith that is to be nourished, to be strengthened daily, in the daily Advent, the daily welcoming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Come share in this gift of Advent here at the Church of St. Benedict. I look forward to seeing you and your family here, not only this weekend, but also at Christmas. God bless you.